Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and the gang's all here. Hello, Christopher. I'm sorry, that's DC Improv, May 26th to the 29th. How are you?
I'm great. That's
And
my new legal name. I
I,
changed it last week.
I'm not, and I don't know what happens after May 29th, but okay. And Coy Malone, how are you?
Hey, Sybil. Hey, Huggy. Hey, Chris. No, wait. DC Improv, May 26th through 29th. What's up?
Thank you for respecting my choices.
And Mr. Lowdown, how are you?
I'm not DC Improv May the 26th through the 29th, but I will be at the DC Improv May 26th through the 29th with the comedian formerly known as Chris Paul, also known as DC Improv May the 26th through the 29th.
Oh boy, am I going to get in trouble for this? Okay, and let's start with Coy Malone, since that's usually a longer story. How you doing, Coy? What's new?
A lot is new. In the world of adulting, it just keeps getting better and better.
Okay, all right, that's
Coy,
it.
are you high?
And she's looking at herself in the camera, and
She just real something today.
yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's the imaginary cameras in my reality TV shows that I have going on called my life that I'm looking into. Good gracious, it's it's amazing to see the developments, especially with working with things with my dad. Case in point, one of the latest developments is someone stole the car that was parked at my dad's house. Came by and stole it.
Was that his car?
Yeah, it was the car. Actually, the car he bought, my first car, but still registered it to him, so it is his car.
And why could you not use it, or you just?
Yeah, it wasn't really in use. Haven't
Oh.
driven it in about 3-4 years, and I was in the process of getting it moved, taken to a mechanic, because apparently, or I say allegedly,
not soon enough. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, allegedly it was tagged by code enforcement who said who called me to ask if I moved it, and I said no. They said this isn't something that they do. The city isn't also a person or entity that tows the car. And I think not by coincidence, I found out from a neighbor, somebody showed up with a tow truck that was not affiliated with any company. And then maybe 30 minutes later, this is when code enforcement called me. And when I made the police report, there was no record of the car ever being reported to the city. So
sounds very curious. Well, you know people who work in city government, so perhaps you could have somebody look into that.
I was wondering how Rick Ross got all those cars at his house this weekend. That big car show.
That was his
biggest
personal car
car
show. Okay, and the realest car show for sure. For sure. And you weren't here last week. How were things on the set? I believe you were working on a TV set.
Yes, I was. I was working on a Stars TV series. I guess I can tell you all BMF. That was pretty fun. I will say for future references, anybody that wants to get into acting, whether you're doing background, feature, have lines, stunt double, what have you, always understand what you're being booked for. And if they try to change that, when you go on set, you do have the right to say, hey, this is not what I agreed to, or this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm not comfortable with. And I had somewhat of that experience where I was told one thing, then I get to set, and it's a little bit different. But we were able to speak with production and get everything situated. And not to say that anything particularly went wrong with this set, but I will say that I can understand and see how people can get into acting and agree to one thing, and then something else is told when you get to set, and you can be taken advantage of.
Just quickly, because we don't have much time in this segment, but you've been in this business long enough. Has this ever happened to you before?
Yes, this has. And with my experience now of being SAG eligible, I understand, my rights and what I can and cannot do as an actress. And I've been doing this since I was in high school, which, believe it or not, it's been a long time. Longer than what my face is telling you in appearance.
Okay. All right.
Long time.
Huggy, Chris, how are you guys?
We're doing good.
Good.
We also want to back up what Coy is saying. When you go to an acting job, make sure you know in advance. I got booked to do a McDonald's commercial over the weekend, and I didn't know I was going to be wearing a Grimace costume.
Before we leave this
And
segment,
they paid him in food.
Before we
I knew
leave
that
this,
already.
Oh,
I do want to give our
Lotus.
condolences to our friend George Wallace. He lost his brother, and
Oh,
just
no.
No.
yeah. So
No.
condolences to our
not
friend
Oh,
George.
man.
Yeah,
Nap?
Johnny was his name, and he had been
Oh.
sick for a very long time.
That's
Oh,
not Nap, is it, Sybil?
Hmm?
Is Johnny named Nap?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Oh,
I just know
no.
his name is
Yeah.
Johnny. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know if
man.
they called him Nap or not.
Yeah. Oh, man. I need to call
Please, absolutely do. All right. It is now time for the What You Need to Know newsletter. And Coy Malone, you are up first, talking about the Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis leading his administration to crack down on public school curriculum, particularly as it relates to the textbooks they're going to accept as it relates to race and gender. What's going on?
yes. So I came across this story, believe it or not, on Reddit. And the Florida Department of Education has issued a new teaching standard for the 2022-2023 school year that requests book publishers keep critical race theory and the subject of social justice out of its textbooks. They're banning all books that mention either one of these two things or anything that falls under this category. And they specifically name social justice because they feel like it is closely related to critical race theory because it distorts historical events. And the governor, Ron DeSantis, he's been recently pushing administration to crack down on public schools for their curriculum, especially when it discusses gender and race. And this also includes the subjects of privilege or oppression. They also want to prevent social emotional learning from being taught. And this is something that helps students manage their emotions and develop strong relationships with peers. So far, Florida has also rejected 54 out of 132 math books last month because of
Critical race theory and math
yes!
don't go together. Yeah.
in math. And so Governor DeSantis says, and I quote, "We're not going to categorize you based on your race. We're not going to tell some kindergartner that they're an oppressor based on their race and what may have happened 100 or 200 years ago. And we're not going to tell the other kids that they're oppressed based on their race." So publishers have until June 10th to submit a proposal for social studies books. I don't know if there's a proposal out for math textbooks as well, but they have to submit that proposal to the state in order to, I guess, fall into these new teaching guidelines in Florida.
Wow.
So in Florida, when they teach kids about the 60s, all it is JFK getting shot, Elvis, and Gilligan's Island.
Oh, don't forget the TV show about the German concentration camp, the prison camp.
Oh, yeah.
The POW
Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's
Yeah.
Heroes.
Yeah.
Apple strudel. So that's all they're teaching them. How do you teach around the civil rights movement?
Wow.
In Florida, in
Wow.
in any of these states that are going for this, which were heavy concentrations of slavery, slavery just existing,
Wow.
as well as from anywhere from the Mason-Dixon line on down, or even up. How do you justify that? Because
Wow.
it makes your kids feel bad.
Wow.
Right. But keep the Confederate statues.
Yeah.
That means it's on parents, and I'm not just black parents. It's on all parents who have any kind of sense to be teaching their kids about real history at home.
Right.
You can't just leave it up to the school.
Well, yeah, but that's the other thing. So now it's incumbent upon us to teach our children that way, which we've been doing for generations, because they still wasn't being told the correct facts and information on the way these things affected our lives and our predecessors. But it just because they don't want to do their work. They don't want to do the work, and they don't want to have to make their children understand that, generations back, and if you look at some current generations,
Right.
we're doing bad things for people.
You're right. They're taking it out of textbooks, but it wasn't really teaching black children anyway. Like I have 4 kids who went through Virginia high schools, and they would all be in here working and say it's Civil Rights Week. Civil Rights Week.
Really?
Yeah, for the whole
Wow.
week they'll concentrate on civil rights in America.
And what about Confederate Month? When
Right.
do they?
Right.
Right.
Oh goodness! Oh goodness!
Wow.
Oh goodness! So
I mean,
that
when we were growing up, what did they teach you? That Martin Luther King was good and Malcolm X was bad.
right?
Malcolm X was
Yeah.
violent.
Yeah.
Malcolm X was militant.
Right.
But even before with that, Chris, think about the fact that they showed Martin Luther King being taken to prison for not for standing up in terms of social justice and civil rights, but because we were taught that going to jail is a bad thing, and so he was associated with not standing up for it, but for our civil rights, but because he did something bad in the eyes of the white law.
Right. It was
He
very
there
important.
spoke on it.
But it's very
Yeah.
important they teach us, hey, when we hit you, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Stay in your,
Don't
stay
hit
in
us
your
back.
place.
Don't
Stay
hit
in
us
your
back.
place.
Yeah.
Right.
And don't stand your ground.
Right.
Right.
Right. There was a couple of users on Reddit that to me summed up everything perfectly, which was saying that, the OG Republicans, they ended slavery, and then the current Republicans are like, and don't you dare ever mention that again. So future Republicans can bring slavery back.
Mm. Wow.
I have a question. Is mentioning Barack Obama, is that critical race theory? Like that's a monumental event in this country's history. Is that teaching critical race history to even mention President Barack Obama?
Probably.
Right.
And in some future textbook, we're going to see it go from President 43 to 45.
I mean, in Florida, it's even illegal to sing the theme from the Jeffersons. They don't want to hear us moving on up.
No,
But
they
you
most
can
definitely-
sing "Just Looking Out of the Window,
Window.
watching the asphalt grow."
Wow. So Coy, there's also a story, speaking of Barack Obama, I don't know if you all have seen this story, about a classroom assignment asking students to identify the primates, and they have Barack Obama.
I
This
saw
is in a
that.
Michigan
Oh
school.
my God.
Wow.
A Michigan's private school in Michigan, and they have a picture of Barack Obama surrounded by monkeys and other animals, and they were asked to identify the primates.
Wow.
The teacher has been taken out of the classroom, but how many other stories that we don't even know that exist around this kind of activity?
So that's just what it's going to be. Huh?
This is where we are.
I mean,
Yep.
that's how you view a world-renowned scholar,
Mm-hmm.
someone who has 50,000 times the intelligence of that teacher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And a northern state like Michigan, although Michigan is the rules are different there too.
I
If
call
you
it up
look-
north country.
well, that could be for a lot of our cities and states. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And another story in our What You Need to Know newsletter keeps people up to date on the current week of primaries and some results that have come in, as well as reminding people that primaries are being held this week in the important states of Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, a special election in Minnesota, as well as runoffs in the state of Texas, in which, and just parenthetically mentioning the runoffs in Texas, one of the high profile races is for attorney general. And in the Republican race, for the Republican nomination, there is a runoff between the current attorney general, and he is going up against a young man by the name of George P. Bush. And
P. Bush.
yeah, George P. Bush, which is
What he does back there is his business.
P. Bush.
But they're saying that if he loses this runoff against Ken Paxton, this might be the end of the Bush era in politics in Texas. And
Because
so
Jeb disappeared, didn't he?
Jeb got pushed off to the side by Donald Trump, never to be heard from
Never
again.
to be heard from again.
Yeah.
I mean, and who knew that Jeb Bush was a better choice? Like we all would have rather had another Bush in office than that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it took that guy to remind us, what happened before, and to kind of give, not that they were well deserved, but to give props to the Bush administration. So.
Yeah.
But I did want to point out in the What You Need to Know newsletter, talked about a young woman who won the Democratic nomination for a congressional seat, a newly drawn congressional district in Pennsylvania. Her name is Summer Lee. And Summer Lee, yeah.
Wow.
And if she wins in this heavily Democratic congressional district in November, she will become the first Black woman to represent the state of Pennsylvania in the United States Congress.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
You would think, just because this is a state that,
right,
wanted to see Black people free during slavery.
Philadelphia alone, just the city of Philadelphia, they'd not sent a Black woman to Congress.
I know Punxsutawney feel like
like Black people, but not that much.
Right.
It is crazy how in 2022 there are still Black people firsts happening.
Yeah.
All the time. There's so much stuff that we haven't been able to do or given an opportunity to do yet to this point.
And there are some people, and some Black people, they don't want to hear it anymore. They're tired of hearing, in 2022, Chris, that there are first. I like promoting the fact that there are first, but it also makes some people think, that just shows you how far we have not come.
Right.
We're in ancient times.
Yeah. But I do want folks to keep an eye out for Summer Lee. She is a progressive Democrat, and she has had a number of firsts. She's a labor organizer. She's been supported by folks like Bernie Sanders and AOC, those on the progressive end of the Democratic Party. And so it is likely that she will win, as I said, in this heavily Democratic district. And it's a newly redrawn district, by the way. And so look out for her to take her place in the United States Congress. And I'm telling you, this election, as a result, especially as a result of the leak of the Supreme Court document, and the first draft of regarding Roe versus Wade, this has made a big difference in people's actions and activities in terms of participating in the midterm elections. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now, this is on top of the other things that Black folks have not gotten from this administration. We're coming up on the anniversary of George Floyd's murder, and still talking about the George Floyd policing bill that has not been passed by this administration and by this Congress, rather, and other things that have not been passed by this administration, and how we're still working for voting rights and the John Lewis bill and all these other things. But people, much to my happiness, people are becoming much more engaged and taking a more active part, at least in terms of registering to vote and voting in this primary season.
I was even reading about how Donald Trump his people are worried about how the new abortion laws could cause him to lose his white women in the suburbs.
Yep, absolutely, Chris. That's a big number. Yep. Absolutely. And so this will be interesting to see. Coy, you have the
because
Georgia
white women in the
election
suburbs have their daughters dating young Black men.
And what happens?
And they definitely don't want to lose their Roe and Wade.
Okay.
They don't want to lose that.
They don't. Coy, what do you think is going to happen in Georgia? Are you taking a look at that?
We never quite really know. It's like we have become now the battleground now, once again, in what's going on with voting coming up. We see the governor doing these last minute bids to get on the good side of Georgia citizens to stay in office. But meanwhile, we still have things that are affecting us, including, I had to look up on my own, the abortion laws that are here in Georgia that are already a little strict. So now
It's-
here we are with this new decision that's going on, and
Well, it hasn't gone on yet, but we'll
it's
see.
in the works.
Those are some of the stories that are in the current What You Need to Know newsletter. Please go to SybilWilkes.com and sign up for a free subscription, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday morning, first thing.
I guess we're supposed to be happy because we have Juneteenth and Juneteenth ice cream.
Okay, so
Even though we're lactose intolerant.
Let's move to the What's Really Going On segment of the show. And that is our question of the day. This is a story in which a Tuskegee airman received more than the requested birthday cards for his 100th birthday.
Wow.
He's said to be the last surviving Tuskegee airman in the state of Rhode Island.
Wow.
And he asked for people just to send him birthday cards for the 100th. So in the midst of all of this, the owner of one of our least favorite football teams, Robert Kraft, showed up, and he gave him a special jersey, owner of the Patriots. And so he showed up to Sergeant Victor Butler's birthday celebration. The 80-year-old owner of the New England Patriots shook Mr. Butler's hand, offered a lot of nice words, and then handed over a Patriots jersey that featured his name and the number 100 on the back of the jersey. He said, "We want to give you some."
Robert Kraft also gave him a coupon for a massage.
Massage. That's a Florida massage hippie.
Not a sponsor.
We wanted to give you
sponsor.
something no one else could give you. So it may have been that gift card there, Chris. He said, and maybe it wasn't always easy, but you did what was best for America. And so we want to thank you for that. So that brought to mind, beyond the jersey and the signed football and the pictures and everything that went on. So how would you like to be celebrated on your 100th birthday or 100th birthday, if God willing, we make it that far, or your next birthday, if it's not your 100th birthday? How do you want to be celebrated? Because we always talk about, boy, I wish I could do this, or, now that we're out of the pandemic, we, all of these thoughts and ideas of big parties and things like that. But for folks that are watching and listening, and for our crew here, how would you like to be celebrated on your 100th birthday? Or if you don't want to even think that far in advance, and that's a lot of years for a lot of people, even if it's not your 100th, your next birthday, what do you want to do? How do you want to be celebrated? I think
gift card for a massage.
Okay, I'll get that message to Mr. Kraft right away for you, Chris.
100-year life with a happy ending.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Really?
Let me stay on the pot.
So that's for the next birthday.
It's coming up.
Smoking a joint on the pot, bro.
You say leave me alone, your nurse is like, you are alone, fool. Nobody's come to visit you in 20 years.
and that's Jerry Busses from the winning.
Nobody comes to see you in 20 years, and you in the basement.
Okay, in case you didn't know.
Dang.
Coy, how would you like to be celebrated when your birthday comes around?
At the treehouse.
No, yeah. Around
A return visit. Yes.
I don't know. Birthdays are pretty tricky. Nobody really wants to do what I want to do, and I find that a shame.
So that's the question, Coy.
So it makes me, I don't know.
How do you want to celebrate?
Birthday, Coy? What are you talking about? What are you speaking of?
Your birthday's in December, right?
It is.
So it's close to Christmas.
Christ's
birthday is the day after Christmas.
No, it's May 26th through the 29th. Can't y'all read? At the DC Improv.
So, Coy, that's the question. If nobody wants to celebrate the way you do, what do you want?
That's a good question.
Look at that. She's just like a woman you ask, what do you want to, what do you feel like eating tonight?
Yeah,
what do you want to eat tonight?
That's my woman question.
You complain that nobody wants to do what you want to do. Right. And then you say, well, what do you want to do?
I would love to go on a vacation for my birthday. I've never had a chance to do that just because it is so close to Christmas, New Year's, and then, Thanksgiving just came around. People are usually shopping for family. I'm usually trying to help shop for family gifts and
So
it's a
where
hard
do you
time.
want to go? Where
She
would
want
you
an
like to
all
go?
expense paid trip to
what?
Stone Mountain.
30 minutes that way.
Do you want to go to Pinky's for a vegan burger? What do you want to do?
Seychelles would be nice.
Seychelles. Okay.
Or Brazil.
Okay.
That's
okay.
closer, more affordable.
Money is no object. Like Huggy said,
Seychelles.
How do you want to be celebrated?
In Seychelles.
And you want to swim with the turtles? What would you like to do?
I want to sit on the beach with like 50 miles of beach to myself.
Okay.
Because apparently it's not a lot of people that go to the beach at Seychelles. It didn't really get popular until what's his name? Prince Harry got married.
Tom Joyner went there. Until Tom went, nobody knew. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. What is it you would like to do? How would you like to be celebrated on your next birthday, if not your 100th? This gentleman, a veteran of World War II, a Tuskegee airman, so you know that he went through hell. And all he wanted on his 100th birthday was people to remember him with birthday cards. He got a little bit more than that. He got a parade. He got this from the owner of the New England Patriots.
So he just gave out his address?
Yeah. It was on a news story, and they gave out. I think it might have
school right there.
Somebody gonna rob that man.
It might have been.
He's gonna be waiting
a
on
PO
him
box. It might have been
He's
a
gonna
PO
be waiting
box.
on him with a revolver.
A musket.
Huggy, what would you like to do?
I don't know.
Papa Do's.
Well, that's for sure.
No, probably. I don't know. Being somewhere on the island would be nice.
Okay, so I'm having a hard time with our team here.
Huggy's one of those old school black men. I've been black so long, I can't even dream. my mother won't let me have dreams that big.
Dreaming is illegal.
She's asking you can have anything you want in the world to celebrate with.
Chris, what would you like?
When I'm 100?
No, even if it's not your 100th birthday, what would you like to do
for
your next birthday?
I'd like to go on a nice island vacation, but bring all my entire family with me.
Nice.
Everybody, kids, wife, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody on both sides.
That's a real family reunion.
Everybody together at once. And leave them there.
A real Jerry Springer show about to happen.
I'm kidding.
Leave them there.
That would be nice.
That's lovely. That's a great idea. Huggy, I'm still gonna leave you to think about this. And we have some comments.
I just want to be able to drink from the white fountain.
I'd like to move the colored only over to the whites only.
I know I'm dreaming too big, but
I want to ride on the bus.
In the front. Shirley Ann Tony Davis on Facebook says she would like to be celebrated in quietness and peace. No, so does that mean we go whisper? What does that mean?
Turn your headphones down.
Janice Wade on Facebook is leaning in that Coy direction. She'd like to go to Bora Bora. Say yes to Bora Bora. I'm not mad at that. Sonia Maples on YouTube. I would like to spend my next birthday in Barcelona with the lisp, Barcelona theme.
And without my husband.
Brian Scott, that's what I'm talking about. Brian Scott on Facebook. I'll take $1 billion for my 100th birthday.
By the time you're 100, brother, $1 billion won't be worth nothing.
Well,
not with these prices.
Ask Elon.
These prices.
At the rate we're going, you're absolutely right. $1 billion would be about $1.50.
Airline tickets have been going up every 4 days.
She said she want a jamming party.
Yeah, Carolyn Jones Jameson on Facebook, as Huggy said, a jamming party with my family and friends and plenty of trees.
She just celebrated her 100th birthday with that jogging right there. So a jamming party.
A jamming party with plenty of trees, wine, and good food. She said trees. See? You see? You see what she did?
What happened to your trees, Coy? You got rid of your plants?
I don't think we're talking the
they're
same kind of trees.
all
I know.
over here. All they're taking over still. Just sitting at a different angle.
Okay.
And now she's moved them to Chris's backyard, so you
Yeah.
can see that. So Kerwin May on YouTube says either a caramel cake or a Chicago popcorn mix from Garrett's. I can do that for you, Kerwin May.
Where the heck we had the caramel cake from?
You had a good
It's a
one?
spot in Alabama. They had caramel cake. What's the name of it? So they had good caramel cake. That's what it's caramel.
Cake.
I
Caramel.
haven't had one of those in a long time.
But I do know a great baker. I don't know if she sends her stuff through the mail though. But I do know somebody who could do that, and I know a person or two that could give you the Garrett's mix.
Dressed to the nines all day. I would love to go to Hawaii and just be pampered all day. Okay.
I don't know if she does.
Don't worry, when you're 100, you'll be pampered.
You'll be pampered all
all day.
That's Charlotte Bowen.
Well, I guess that
Melody.
depends,
Down,
Chris.
left and right.
Yeah, the Pampers go without saying at 100, I think.
I think if you make it to 100 as a Black person, you should have like a special on CNN talking about your life and experience as a Black person over the last 100 years.
I thought you were talking about bowel control. I guess when you're 100, you should.
Oh boy, don't know where this is going.
Boy.
Aubrey Williams says, I'd like to be celebrated with a supply of Jack Daniels and a trip to Paris, France. Oui. I like that.
That sounds like a nice
Okay, that's on
idea.
YouTube.
They're going to be drunk and get on the wrong plane, going to end up in Paris, Virginia.
Oh, Karen Elaine.
Paris,
It
Texas.
says, I would like to spend my birthday, which is next Monday, by just relaxing and getting a massage. Well, Karen, I hope that your wish comes true.
Happy
And-
birthday, Karen.
Yeah. And let's see if we can't make that happen for you. I love that. Absolutely.
Where you live at? Where you live at? Send
Karen,
somebody down there to give you a massage, Karen.
Karen, give us some information. Or at least-
Huggy's going to massage you right now virtually.
I have gout. I got carpal tunnel and gout.
Don't send her one of those new school massage guys that be trying to get all extra touchy feely freaky.
you said
Don't
the
send her
new
one of
school.
them now.
Oh, you talking about the guys that get up on you and do the massage? Huh?
like the knee up on the table and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And put their,
It's a whole new machine out this junk.
and
bro.
put their personage in your face.
Hold on, that's a lot of stuff.
Personage.
Hold on.
Yeah. Sheila Faye on Facebook said, big 65 coming up. I plan to pamper myself during my birthday month of October, open to other opportunities to celebrate, but will be doing for the most part what I want. Eating, drinking, dancing, and visiting my family throughout the U.S. My desire is a vacation to a spa resort for ultimate relaxation. I hope you get that. That sounds like a
That
party.
shit's too long, Sybil.
I'm like, she had to.
We asked her.
She had to start writing that when we went on the air tonight.
At the beginning of the
Yeah.
show, bro.
Beginning of the show, she had to start that.
Well, you know what? I'm appreciative when you have these
Very
characters
good.
going,
She's
don't know.
descriptive. She's
I don't
descriptive.
know.
You're right. You're right. Sybil. You're right. You're right.
I don't know.
I want to be in Belize. I want to relocate to Belize.
Okay, I believe that. Lynn
Yeah,
Powell
I
on
believe
Facebook
that.
says, my next birthday, I would love to spend it with my 2 sons and 2 grandkids on a cruise. Lynn Powell,
Aw.
that is a great way to celebrate with
It
your
is.
family. Like Chris, he wants to celebrate with his family in the Caribbean islands and leave them there. But you want
Right.
to be on a ship
Yeah.
with your family. I absolutely love that. I do. I think that's a great idea. And I think that, people are really considering this as we, as I said, coming out of the pandemic and all of these things that, we were denied, that we weren't able to do over the last 2 to 3 years. Now we are in a place and those things, man, if I could just get out of this pandemic, the first thing I'm going to do. And, we're sitting there going, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know.
Right.
So, think about these things and because as we know, life is short. Let's make these things happen. Let's get out there and have some fun.
Let's go to hedonism. 100 years old, hedonism.
that would be a wrinkled hedonism, but
Yes, it would.
okay.
I heard it's already wrinkled.
Huh?
I heard it's already wrinkled.
Okay. I'm not mad at that, huh? Who's mad at that? Okay, so you push some of those wrinkles away and enjoy yourself, Papa. I'm not mad.
Papa Champagne.
That would have been a funny thing to put on the back of that jersey, huh?
Grandpa,
Birthday 100.
Grandpa Chitlins, what you doing out here?
Okay. Let us move. It is
Getting
now
the tan on my, getting the tan. All right, so go ahead.
His pamper line.
I done went too far.
It's time for us to go to the topical news. And starting off our topical news, let us repeat where and when people can see one Mr. Chris Paul and Mr. Huggy Lowdown in the upcoming days and weeks.
This is the week.
The week.
This is
DC,
it.
we're coming home.
Home,
The DC
home,
Improv,
home.
May 26th to the
To the
29th.
29th.
6 big shows. We're going to sell all these joints out. So get your tickets right now at dcimprov.com.
We funny as a mother. That's the name. We still funny as a mother.
Still
Okay.
Brother
funny.
still funny as a mother to him.
I love that. I love that. And come June, you will be traveling to Charlotte.
Yeah, but that's not important.
Okay.
DC Improv.
okay,
If you
okay.
live in Charlotte, drive to the DC Improv this weekend.
There you go.
And that way you can see us twice.
And that would be a fun way to spend the weekend, the Memorial Day weekend.
Mhm.
That's right.
Everybody, come on, folks from all over the country, come to DC and get over there to the DC Improv and join my boys there. 6 big shows. You heard them. 6 big shows featuring Chris Paul and Huggy Lowdown.
6 big shows.
6 big shows.
6 big shows.
That's 3 shirts and 3 jeans, Chris.
That's right.
We ain't on time show anymore. We stretching outfits.
Yeah. That's funny. All right. So the news that has come out, Pfizer says that they got the shots for the babies. Vaccine, they are getting together their doses of the COVID-19 vaccine and for children under the age of 5, 6 months to 4. They say that it offers strong protection for the kids, for the babies. And they announced today that this is another step for the littlest kids, possibly beginning in early summer. They are submitting their findings to U.S. regulators later this week. The FDA is already evaluating an application by rival Moderna to offer 2-dose vaccines to the tots and sets June 15th as a tentative date for its independent advisors. Shots for tots. That's exactly right. Pfizer has had a difficult time, as well as Moderna. It has not been easy coming up with these vaccines for the kids, obviously, trying to work out the right dosage and what have you. But hopefully it will happen soon. The question is, will the parents be getting the shots for their kids?
We know one thing, all those QAnon people are going to be making up their side effects.
Right.
For baby. My baby won't stop growing.
Right.
He's 6 feet.
He keep crying.
He keep crying on that.
His bib won't fit around his neck.
I think people who have, we are just over 50% of the country has been vaccinated. It has at least one shot. I'm wondering if parents are going to do this for their kids or not, or insist that their kids be vaccinated. We'll see. Is anybody as flummoxed by this whole monkeypox thing as I am? Do you
I
understand?
was just about to ask about this.
I'm
First of all,
flummoxed.
as black men, we
Flummoxed.
don't get flummoxed. Brothers don't get flummoxed.
Nah, bro.
And-
That sound like a condition. Civil flummox.
Oh.
What happened last night, bro?
My stomach started flummoxing, man. I barely made it.
I bet. Thank God I had that pamper on.
When I get the flummoxing, brother, I hit the back of the bowl.
It been flummoxing all over the place.
Back of the bowl.
Yikes. The visual.
Oh, baby, stop it. Baby, stop it. You're going to make me flummox.
all over the
Oh, my God. Oh, premature flummoxing, Chris.
I never flummoxed so quick.
Oh, never happened before. Oh.
I promise you, it's never
That's
happened.
because she
The very
had
first
she
time.
had some good flummox.
Has anybody considered this
And
whole
a good bummix. I had the flummox and the bummix.
The flummox and the what?
Flummox and the bummocks. Feel good to my nummocks.
I just want to know what his family thinks as they're
Oh,
walking by
my
him
God.
broadcasting this.
Oh,
This
it's
is my
ju-
crazy
it's just-
dad.
That's
It's
just
just
him.
sad.
He's disgusting, man. And
It's
this is
just
the
sad.
one that want to have it. Can you imagine him at 100 years old?
Oh,
Oh, right.
Who's gonna clean up all that flummox? Negro, you got flummox on your stomachs.
Oh.
Wipe the flummox off your stomachs.
Well, these people are not flummoxed, but 5 Americans are likely affected by the monkeypox, according to the Centers for Disease Control as of Monday. They've recorded more than 250 confirmed or suspected monkeypox cases, mainly in Europe, and they're trying to determine the origin. And it may be, this is one thing that they have tried to do, some contact tracing, if you will, and they may think that it's a sexually transmitted disease
Oh, God.
from a sex party in Europe. And they say that right now, the victims that they are finding, who have come forward and say, they have this monkeypox or some sort of pox, they contact trace it, and they said many of them are homosexual or bisexual men.
Are you?
But hold
This
on.
is like
So
the
I
repeat of
promise.
the
I
time of
promise.
Christopher
originated-
Columbus.
monkeys were involved in this? I'm serious. Like,
You said pox or box?
Pox, P-O-X, P as in Paul.
We are repeating history again, like
I'm saying, but
Christopher Columbus.
where it's been traced to, there were monkeys involved in what they were doing.
Well, I'm not sure why, because it does come from countries in Africa, they believe.
They always blame
that's
Africa.
that's one of the places they believe that is the origin of monkeypox. But just they jump from animal to animal, and it's jumped
Ew.
from the monkey to these other animals like rodents onto people. And they say that a lot of people have arrived in the US and Europe infected with the virus. And just to tell you, it is a rash, usually appears first on the hands. Many of the current cases have rashes appearing around the genitals or the hind parts. And this is now at the beginning of the holiday travel season. And they are asking people, if you feel as though you have monkeypox or some other SARS-like disease, come forward, and so that they can properly diagnose it and help people get some help for this.
Who knew you'd rather have COVID than monkeypox?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We don't have a lot of time. And Huggy's still looking like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? But I did want to talk about this case involving Major League Baseball. And I don't get this story. I understand that somebody's feelings were hurt, but I don't get it. So Major League Baseball has suspended a New York Yankee. His name is Josh Donaldson. He was suspended for 1 game by Major League Baseball because he made multiple references to Jackie Robinson when talking to a White Sox baseball player, Tim Anderson, over the weekend. Now, according to reports, Tim Anderson in an interview has referred to himself as today's Jackie Robinson.
Right.
And so this guy, Josh Donaldson, says he refers to him, back and forth
Right.
as Jackie.
As banter. Playful banter or whatever.
Yeah. This
And
guy.
they have history of
Exactly. They have history of going. And now,
well, here's the thing. First of all, Tim Anderson, he said he referenced himself being Jackie Robinson in the sense that he's going to bring fun back to the game.
right.
Because everybody's aware that baseball right now is only like 4 to 7% black,
Right.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
We grew up, there was a lot of black people playing baseball,
right,
but
absolutely.
not anymore. So he wanted to bring fun back to it. And that Josh Donaldson is saying that he referred to him as Jackie before. So that just tells you when he said it this time, it wasn't any trying to be funny or complimentary. He said it in an insulting way. They're not friends, and they were competing against each other. And Tim Anderson had been killing them during that series. They've been killing the Yankees.
Yeah.
So he
for
thought
once.
it was more like, yeah, Jackie.
Oh,
And
That
so
don't
it
even
was
sound right. That don't even
yeah,
feel right just saying
yeah,
it.
so
yeah.
it was the tone and the reference to
Yeah, because
and
I
casting
heard
aspersions on
Blackie in
him.
that. I heard Blackie.
You said Blackie Robinson. No, but I mean, also, as I've heard other people say, it's about the times now. It's okay. So he said that in an interview in 2019.
Hmm.
So much stuff has gone on since then. Black people we aren't the same as we were in 2019.
Right.
We've been worn out by all the violence against us by police officers, violence against black on black, everything in the news, everything Trump related.
Right, right.
It's not. I'm
This
not your friend with this.
and this I mean you're right, Chris, because apparently the tone was such that I mean they cleared the benches at Saturday's game, right? When he twice referred to him as Jackie, Donaldson referred to Anderson as Jackie, and so it got to the point. Well, but it really hyped up Tim Anderson because
Yeah.
he came out swinging. And even what the Yankee crowd, and you know how boisterous they are, but they got into it calling him Jackie, 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 and then he hit a home run, and and he's like put his finger up to his lips like hush, because you got nothing to say now. So
And I'm not on here trying to paint Josh Donaldson as being some racist or nothing, but you got to know the room sometimes. So sometimes people change. I mean, if you have a nickname for me at work,
mhm.
let's say you call me Spear Chucker, and I laughed a couple times.
But at
It
some
don't-
point,
At some point, or maybe someone needs to point out to you, that's not cool. You letting that guy call you Spear Chucker.
right, you're right, you're right.
You know.
Okay, let us move on to
Okay.
entertainment. And I want to talk about this. And as a Kobe Bryant fan, Coy, I really want your opinion on this. A Kobe Bryant game worn jersey during his rookie year. So we're talking about a different number at the time, number 8, worn by Kobe during the home games, is now going to be put up for auction. This was worn during the home games, including 2 playoff games during the 96-97 season. And experts at this auction house say the only jersey ever photographed matched with his rookie campaign, making it one of the most valuable pieces of NBA memorabilia to exist. What, Coy, do you think is the value on this?
It's got to be close to $1 billion. That's what I would think.
$1 billion?
Yes.
Are you?
But I mean,
Are
maybe I
you
think
high?
of Kobe that no, I'm
No,
not.
not $1 billion.
You've
Coy,
answered that twice today.
I know, right?
Okay.
At
Three
least
times
it's
makes it
got to be
true.
$1 million. It's got to be at
You
least
said
$1
$1
million.
billion.
Yeah, it'll be at
It's
least
got to
$1
be
million.
at least. It's got to be
It'll
at
probably be
least.
about
So,
$2
so
billion.
Coy, are you saying $1 billion or $1 million?
Now, in my mind, $1 billion, but I think $1 million. That's the final answer.
And what do you say? What do you say, Hug?
I said if I get up to 2-3 million.
And Mr. Paul?
I'd say 3+ million, 3 million and up.
And you're right. They are estimating that it is worth somewhere in the area, could fetch somewhere in the area of $5 million.
Wow.
I actually own a piece of a Wilt Chamberlain jersey. There's this there's this
A piece?
sports there's a sports collectible website called Collectibles, as a matter of fact. You can go on there and what you do is you buy like
Oh, that's right.
shares
You
and
got
stuff. So me,
You
I
bought
could
one of
never
his condoms.
no. Like his condoms, I'm too broke. But no, I could never afford Wilt Chamberlain's game worn uniform because they priced it at like $800,000. But you can buy shares in it. So I bought like $100 worth of it. So it goes up and down just like the stock market, and then
Yeah.
eventually a buyer will come in and buy it, and then they'll give me whatever my cut is.
So it sounds like the non-fungibles and those kind of things. So you buy like into Bitcoin or something, huh? No?
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole thing
Okay.
is very flummoxing
Good point.
and fungible. I think fungible flummoxing you. It's a lot of fungible.
You've done it very well by that today. Coy, they say that Kobe wore this jersey specifically. They date the days. They give us the dates in which he wore them: April 11th, April 13th, April 17th, and May 8th and 10th of 1997. So that's $1 million per wear in the May games. They talk about who he played against, and like just think about this. Are you guys? Did you guys watch the Lakers series on
Winning
HBO
time.
Max? Winning Time, yeah. On
I started it.
It's good, so
oh my God, how good is this?
good, so
It's really good, and
I
I'm
haven't
really.
seen it.
Oh, Chris, it's HBO Max. If you,
I know where it's at. I just all I watch is the first 48. I just never get tired of hearing in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's every episode in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's rough in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay, well, I guess I had to move from Memphis because folks got tired of that, right? But I'm telling you, Huggy, I am so with you. I can't stop watching this, and I've even started over again because I felt like I was missing something. I think that the whole Jerry Buss story is fascinating to me.
so funny,
And
man.
Matt,
And
what?
good job, well cast.
Oh my gosh, these guys.
well written. This is good stuff.
Yeah. And do you watch the after show? Do you watch the discussions with Rick
Fox.
Fox? Yeah. I think with the actors and oh, it's good stuff. So I highly recommend this. And that's what, made me think about wanting to talk about this story. So Coy, as
You just want to see Rick Fox.
I love
Right.
Rick Fox. I love Rick Fox. And he looks great. Time has been very good to him. But I do want to commend that whole production because it's really good. And even people who are playing, who are the sons of, like, Norm Nixon's son is playing Norm Nixon, right?
Is
And
it?
yeah.
That's his son?
Yes.
Wow.
You
So
got to check out the HBO Max show they're doing about the Washington Wizards franchise.
what is that called?
Losing time.
I'm telling you, but here's the strangeness of me and my television watching ways. As much as I love Winning Time, I'm loving Julia, of the Julia Child story.
I haven't seen that.
I didn't think yet.
Hold on, whatever happened to that crap you and Kim Whitley were watching? The Victorian age dating show.
That disappeared.
Wow.
It disappeared.
It did.
And yeah. The courtship or
Wow.
what? Yeah, it disappeared. And so I went back to streaming, even though I've given up Netflix. I've gone streaming with HBO Max has done a really great job with some of their series.
Yeah,
So,
I was Winning Time too. So
You got rid of Netflix? You're the reason they increased our rates.
sorry. Yeah, and
They said they
people getting
lost all these
fired.
customers. Yeah, right.
And people getting fired. Yeah. Sorry. Kanye West, I know you all will be happy to hear this, has broken his Instagram silence. He's back on IG. And just in time to announce he's working on new packaging for McDonald's. Who knew they needed this? Have broken his social media silence to say he has a new design for McDonald's packaging. And this is his latest business venture. He posted a photo of the potential new design and wrote, "Ye teams with legendary Muji industrial designer Fukasawa to reimagine McDonald's packaging," and posted on the IG story. And he said, "Next week, it's the fries. Don't mess with the fries. Don't mess with the fries, ye." And so he's back, and I guess this is his to Kim and to Pete. He's back, and he's about the creativity.
Yeah, Pete just signed off from SNL.
Yeah.
So now Kanye don't have to worry about them making fun of him anymore. He's living a good life now.
I don't think they're gonna give up on Kanye bashing on SNL, do you?
No.
So those are the stories, and one more thing. This is out of the mouths of babes. I don't know if anybody is as fed up with and flummoxed by the success of the Kardashians, but this whole wedding with Kourtney Kardashian and the drummer from Blink 150, 180, 172, whatever,
182.
Travis. Yeah. Travis Barker.
That's been Carson's screen name. Blink 182.
So big big deal over this wedding in Italy over the weekend, and out of the mouths of babes, one of her kids, Kourtney Kardashian's kids, told the photographers, "Give us a break."
To say goodbye.
Okay. And so this kid is very media savvy and knows that he should and knows that he's tired of the photographers. So all right, as we've heard, it is now time to say goodbye and just leave you with Yogi's Jewels, the daily inspiration. There is freedom in speaking truth to power. There is freedom to speaking truth to power. That is absolutely true. And I thank you guys. And I hope that you have a wonderful time. Where?
At the DC Improv. This is
May
the
the
week, Thursday
26th,
through
29th.
Sunday. Come on out, holler at your boys.
6 shows.
See y'all.